Welcome to the Real Estate Show, brought to you by Capital One Group, LLC. Eric Wilner, president of Capital One Group, LLC, is a highly trained financial professional. He helps clients to develop strategies for effectively utilizing real estate, mortgages, and related financial products to achieve a more secure financial future. For the real estate investor or the home buyer, he's able to provide expertise in matching the right properties and financing with your specific financial objectives. This show is dedicated to helping you find the safe and simple approach to buying income-producing real estate. If you have any questions about the program or to arrange a consultation, call toll-free 888-595-7779. That's 888-595-7779. Now, today's edition of The Real Estate Show.
And hello, South Florida. Good morning, and hello to all of our listeners there in the AM 740 listening area, as well as those listening to us out there in the 96.9 FM area. And also, not to mention, all of the people out there listening to us on the internet from all around the world who listen to us either on one of our apps, the TuneIn app, the iHeartRadio app, and now the brand new WSBR app that's available in your app store that you can listen to this radio program on the go. And of course, if all else fails, you can always go to our website at www.automaticlandlord.com. Click on the Listen Live tab right there on the Automatic Landlord website. Well, I've got a great show for you today, and I've got an exciting guest that I have brought on to the radio program. As you know, we talk about all things real estate, and one of the real important things in real estate, of course, is getting the word out, getting the message out, getting our message out there. And one of the things that's become very big in the last few years, of course, is using social media. And probably one of the most professional ways of using social media is a program or a website called LinkedIn. And no better way to learn more about that platform, the LinkedIn platform, than going right to one of the nation's premier experts in the LinkedIn area, known as your LinkedIn coach. I have with me in the studio Mr. Gary KISSEL. How are you today?
I'm great. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm excited for the growth of your show.
Well, thank you. We're doing it on purpose. So, and in the same way people always try to grow their business, you know, you've got to take proactive steps and so forth.
Absolutely.
And one of the things that we've done is we have a LinkedIn page. I've had a LinkedIn page, but recently. You and I met at an event that takes place for national authors, speakers, and
yes.
coaches, and we kind of hit it off there at the meeting.
Exactly.
Got to speaking, and I was very intrigued about what you do.
Mm-hmm.
So, in a brief second, tell me a little bit, or tell my listeners a little bit more about what you do.
Okay. Well, Eric, I started out using LinkedIn to build a real estate business. And I was able to use the platform to find investors and cash buyers, and they ended up buying from me. Many of them were Eastern Canadians that came down to find bargains here. And I did that for about 3 years, and I'm still connected to those people. So, you know, it was effective in building relationships. But a couple years ago, I got closer to my true passion, which is helping people find more opportunity and teaching people how to better use that platform. So I became a coach, and now I help people find more opportunity and use the platform to grow their business.
So that's kind of neat, particularly because every once in a while I talk to some of my listeners, and they're actually intrigued the fact that we are a real estate show, but that we talk about other things, about technology, about the software, about different things to help improve our business.
Sure.
Because improving our business is a very broad thing. But I think it's it's the extra cool that you come from the real estate background. So you were and still are.
Yes.
Still are a real estate investor.
I am.
So are you originally from Canada?
No, I'm from Nebraska. And I did live in Seattle, so I was close to Canada, but
almost there. But because of LinkedIn and the marketing that you did through LinkedIn, you attracted a large number of Canadian investors.
I did. That seemed to be my niche, and also the northeastern U.S. So, of course, there was many compelling reasons for them to come to Florida. The climate, of course, and the cost of purchasing real estate here was 5 years ago a lot more reasonable.
A little bit more than 5 years ago. Oh, actually, that's right. Went at the low of the market.
Exactly.
So Tell us a little bit first, just because I know our listeners are curious. What type of real estate were you buying, and were you buying it to resell it? Were you fixing it up? What were you doing?
Well, I had investors wanting several different kinds of real estate. Some wanted retirement condos. Some wanted just luxury condos near the beach.
Mm-hmm.
Hollywood Beach is
So
very...
a lot of these were for personal use.
Yes, many of them. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Excellent.
then some were investors that just wanted properties for income. So it was, multi number of reasons why people were seeking me out, and
What I have found, and we have been focusing on investors for such a long time, that when people, when you do a good job with them for investments, you end up helping them with the home, with a second home, and you kind of sort of branch out. And speaking of branch out, why did you use LinkedIn? Of all the different social media, Facebook was probably the biggest explosion. Why LinkedIn?
Well, LinkedIn actually started before Facebook. So when I first started, deciding which platform to use, LinkedIn just made sense to me. It's a professional platform. It also has a demographic that has a higher income. So having a business background, it was a natural fit for me.
And it's interesting because each one of these different applications does seem to have a little bit different audience. And talk a little bit more about the higher income, because that's key. We definitely want to market to the people who have the money.
Well, if you're going to be marketing, why not go to the the right market, right? So the people on LinkedIn, it said, have an average income of twice that of those people that are using Facebook and Twitter. So that's pretty profound.
And now, so let's talk about also sort of the profile of LinkedIn. LinkedIn is really more of a professional way of social media.
Yes, that's what it's known as, the world's largest professional platform.
So what was LinkedIn's original goal? Originally,
they started out more of a job-finding platform, and it's still semi-known as that. And so it's really morphed now into a more diverse and exciting platform, and a lot of people haven't quite caught up with it yet. But it's a great networking tool now.
So for the listeners that are listening to this program, and it's a pretty broad section of people and a pretty wide geographic. We have listeners right now listening to us from South America,
awesome.
from Europe. Why would they look at LinkedIn for their marketing? And by the way, what we're talking about, you and I have a commonality in the real estate field, but this is for any business out there.
Well, yeah, I think any professional that really wants to propel their business needs to be on LinkedIn. Its growth is phenomenal. When I started, it was probably 50 or 60 million. It's now 8 times that size, over 400 million.
400 million people just on LinkedIn.
Just on LinkedIn, and it's growing, and this is something to be underlined. It's growing 1 million new members every 6 days.
Wow. So the future's pretty bright for LinkedIn. If they're growing at 1 million every 6 days, then so that the market is just broadening wider and wider. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick break to hear a few words from our sponsors. I'm here with my very special guest, Gary KISSEL. And if you want to look him up on LinkedIn and kind of to get a little more feel, or also how to contact him, spell your name. It's
last name is KISSEL, KISSEL.
And so if you go into the LinkedIn app and look up Gary KISSEL, that's the last name is KISSEL, 1L, and you'll be able to get also a picture of what he looks like here in the radio station. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. Don't touch that dial. You're listening to The Real Estate Show. My name is Eric Wilner, and I'll be right back.
Today's real estate market is full of questions. Eric Wilner and Capital One Group LLC have the answers. Call today for a no-obligation consultation and get the facts. 888-595-7779. That's 888-595-7779. You'll learn the safe and simple approach to buying income-producing real estate, and you'll find out how to get the right real estate investments for your specific investment objectives. Plus, you'll have immediate access to cutting-edge mortgage and financing products. Be sure to ask about free property management on select investment properties. Call today for your no-obligation consultation and get the facts. 888-595-7779. Toll free, 888-595-7779.
I said, damn, there's traffic jam. Well, there you are, sitting in traffic like thousands of other motorists listening to Eric Wilner's Real Estate Show. Here's a thought. If you're listening, so are potential customers and clients. Radio advertising works. So become an advertiser or sponsor guest on Eric's show. Get your message heard. Call 1-888-595-7779. That's 1-888-595-7779. Your customers and clients are waiting to hear from you. Said, damn, there's traffic jam. Call 1-888-595-7779.
Are you paying for a home that is losing value every month? Do you owe $400,000 and your home is worth only $300,000 and still dropping? Do you want to know more about what the government is doing to help you? You have options. Don't just give up or walk away. Know your rights. Fight back. KISSEL Law Firm can help you. Call for a free consultation today. 954-522-1212. 954-522-1212. Or on the web, FISTEL.com.
Hello, listeners. This is Eric Wilner, your host of The Real Estate Show. Exciting news. We now have a Facebook page. Now, this is an opportunity for us to share with you photos and videos and interviews and lots more information on a regular basis on our Facebook page. But to make it really exciting, we want your input. We want your comments, and most of all, we want your likes. And that will make us a much better radio show, and our Facebook page will be a real resource for you. So check us out at facebook.com/The Real Estate Show. That's facebook.com/The Real Estate Show. And give us a thumbs up.
This is The Real Estate Show, brought to you by Capital One Group LLC in Boca Raton with your host, Eric Wilner. If you have any questions about the broadcast, call toll-free, 888-595-7779. That's 888-595-7779. Now, back to today's show.
And welcome back. For those of you just joining us, you are listening to The Real Estate Show, South Florida's #1 program. Florida's longest-running program, in fact, the country's longest-running daily radio show all about real estate. Here for the last 17 years, through good times and bad times, we were bringing you great ideas, tips, strategies, and basically the things that you need to know. If you're in this business, and I often talk about real estate as a business, treat it like a business, it'll pay you like a business. Treat it like a hobby, well, have fun with that. Anyway, I have with me today a very special guest. We opened the program with the gentleman, Gary KISSEL, who is an international social selling speaker, author, and coach for people. And believe it or not, yes, we have a niche where you can have a coach just on an app that and a website that's out there. And it's really interesting and very powerful. As Gary was saying right before the break, that there are 1 million new LinkedIn users every 6 days.
Yeah, that's correct.
So that's amazing, and we also were talking about how this is a much more professional forum. So you are speaking to a much higher level audience, a much more affluent audience, and that begs the question. So, okay, so now I have this site, and one of the big sort of aha moments I had when you and I were talking about our LinkedIn site was that you use your LinkedIn site like a web page. Like a destination page.
I do.
Talk a little bit about that.
Well, it's interesting. I mentioned a little bit earlier that LinkedIn has evolved and morphed into something beyond what it originally started out as. And it now is a very visual platform. You can import video and your YouTube shows and images and also PowerPoint. So it's very diverse, and you can be very, very creative now with your with your profile, as opposed to it was very bland and resume-like in the beginning.
So let's talk a little bit about that, taking it from being bland to having, a destination
Sure.
that pops, that's exciting, it's intriguing. And, the big question in all of these media things is, how do I monetize this? How do I make this become more than, hey, Gary, I'm feeling blue today? That's probably one of the
Yeah.
craziest things that I see. And I honestly, I'm not that interested in 50 people telling me today that they have a bellyache or that they're
Sure.
feeling blue. I want to know what's going on. I want to know. I want to get to the point. I want to see that there's some value there, and I think that's one of the things. Let's break it down. First of all, what the different parts are.
Yeah.
It's more than just a photo and a few lines about what you do or what you are.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about that.
Okay, well, the first thing that's seen is your photo. So 10% of the people on LinkedIn don't have a photo, which immediately eliminates them from serious consideration for many people. So a professional photo, one that's, got you smiling and intriguing, is a good start. Secondly, the line that's below your headline, your name actually, is called the headline. And a lot of professionals underutilize that. There's 120 characters that can be filled there. So
That's a long name.
that's a lot of opportunity for you to promote yourself.
Exactly.
So I find that maybe 90% of the professionals on LinkedIn are talking more about their title or their position rather than what they're offering to the marketplace. So that is a mindset change that I think is very basic for somebody that wants to use it effectively.
Basic but key, because obviously here's an opportunity for people are coming to check you out. They don't really, they're not there to check out your title. They're there to check out what you do.
What makes you unique? Yeah, what's your proposition? So that's very important. And then following that, once you get people intrigued, they're going to go to your summary area, which then gives you an opportunity to present to your ideal client the features and the services that they're seeking. And many professionals I see fail to have a call to action in that summary area. So where do people go once they find you? It's also a major aspect that has to be added to your profile to really monetize it.
So this is kind of a living and breathing. This is no longer a listing.
Exactly.
A photo, your title, and maybe some contact information, which, by the way, a lot of people seem to be forgetting to put in there.
That's true too.
They think that that LinkedIn is the contact information, but you should absolutely put a website if you have one, your phone numbers and so forth, and so videos are on there, so it can be a real live and interesting. Who's looking at LinkedIn typically? Why? Who is going on there? Because this is a key thing also.
Sure. Professionals around the world. It's like I say, it's growing, and LinkedIn, plans to grow 8 times more the size than it is currently. So eventually, it's going to be serving 3.2 billion people. So a lot of people don't understand that there's that opportunity yet to still use LinkedIn. They think that they've missed the boat. Well, that's not true. So people are joining every day. And
so does LinkedIn, I'm sure that they do, are they looking at, because in the beginning, LinkedIn was sort of like a job search.
Correct, yeah.
Type of a site. So people were posting their resumes on there. And most resumes, by the way, are pretty darn boring.
Pretty dull, yes.
Yes. And so HR people, managers and things were going on there. So you don't see a lot of social pictures at parties and things like that. You see something that actually makes it a little bit less exciting on the one hand, but on the other hand, what the people that are coming on there now are not just looking for jobs or offering jobs. They're looking for services. They're looking for products.
They're looking for a solution or a service, and if you gear your profile to meet those needs, then you're going to be successful on the platform. It has 6 million job listings still on LinkedIn, and recruiters play a big part. But LinkedIn is branching out. They bought lynda.com this past year, which has a video library of some 2,000 or 3,000 videos. So now it's becoming an educational tool for people to get credentialed or to improve their profile.
So someone who's just starting out and said, okay, I hear what Eric and Gary are saying. this is
Right.
kind of interesting. I hadn't really thought about LinkedIn before.
Yeah.
Where should they start?
Well, I suggest to get a coach. That's a bit self-serving, but it is a complex platform. And if you really want to speed things up, then that would be the way to go. But basically, you want to optimize your profile. So all of the opportunities you have to add information about yourself, services that you offer, your background, all that should be taken advantage of. Take the time to build a very intriguing platform, because why start attracting people if you don't have a complete profile? So a lot of people get that confused and work it backwards.
So if you want to get a hold of a coach, since we put that one out there on the air, number one, go to LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
Look up Gary Kissel. That's Gary, and the last name is Kissel, Kissel, and you can go there. Is there another way to contact you?
My phone number is on there, so you can give me a call. It's 561-716-4359, and I'm open for business, so that's how I promote myself on my headline.
And now, does a person have to meet you face to face?
No, I work by Skype, and I work by phone. So I have international clients. I had an attorney call me from Norway recently, and we worked on Skype, and we continue to work together. So it
You're
can be
getting ready to go on another international trip as well, aren't you?
Well, I've been to Ecuador and probably going back. So I'm working LinkedIn down there. It's something that a lot of professionals are interested in there as well. So it's just part of the expansion of LinkedIn. More people are getting on board.
I also noticed when I first go to your website that you've turned it into sort of a blog.
Well, LinkedIn 2 years ago, they opened up the influencer aspect of their platform to everyone. So instead of just having 150 top influencers like the Bill Gates or the Warren Buffetts of the world, it's now open to every user. And this too is an opportunity because only 1 million of the members are actually using it. So only 1 million out of 400 million are promoting themselves and really establishing themselves as an expert in their particular field. So it's something to definitely be utilized.
So how do you market LinkedIn for other people to go to? How do people know that you have a LinkedIn page?
Well, I'm busy attracting people through my profile, and then I'm also searching people out. So one of the features of LinkedIn is it shows you all the people that have viewed your profile, and those people that aren't directly connected with you, I treat that as a warm lead, and I follow up with those people. And for me, it's very simple. I just look at profiles, and I find people that need help to expand their LinkedIn presence.
And there are a couple of strategies that you shared when you and I met before that we we haven't even touched on yet. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at our time as we're running out. We've got about 2 more minutes left, so I want to let people know one more time how to contact you. Of course, you can always contact me, and I can forward the information simply by going to www.automaticlandlord.com. You can call me at 888-595-7779. That's 888-595-7779. Or what I think is a great idea, if you want to get more information about Gary Kissel, is go to his LinkedIn page. So go to LinkedIn, go to Gary Kissel, that's Kissel, and then check out, look over, see how it's not your typical advertisement, if you will.
Right.
It's a much more interactive, it's a much more informative, and like I said, it's a living and breathing thing. How often should you be updating your LinkedIn page?
Frequently. It's good to change it around. I try to post a blog article every month. My goal is to probably get to 2 a month. But it's new information. It's a lot of tips that I'm sharing. So feel free to come and learn what you can. I'll be happy to help you.
So that's it for the time that we have allotted for today's program. But I got so much more that I actually wanted to get to. So Gary, I'm going to invite you back.
Oh, awesome! I'd be happy to
if you'd
come.
like to come back. In fact, maybe when we come back, we'll hit a couple more of the high points that we haven't even covered yet in today's program.
Yeah.
And then maybe what we'll even do is we'll open up the phone lines. And people who have questions about LinkedIn, questions about what you do, could do that.
Absolutely. I'd be happy to do that.
So thanks again, Gary Kissel, for Your LinkedIn Coach. This is a great segment for our listeners and a lot of our investors on how to get good quality cash buyers and investors and so forth. We're using it in our business as well. So that's it for today. Thank you for joining us here on the Real Estate Show. Until tomorrow, drive safe and make it a great day.
Thanks for listening to The Real Estate Show, brought to you by Capital One Group LLC in Boca Raton. Eric Wilner and Capital One Group LLC are available to assist you with your financial needs. If you have any questions about today's program or to arrange a consultation, call toll-free at 888-595-7779. That's 888-595-7779. And join us every day at the same time right here on AM 740 WSBR, South Florida's Money Talk Radio. The opinions expressed on this sponsored program are strictly those of its host, guests, and callers and are not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.